G'day everyone, Half Kaldorei Bard here, oversaturating this market with another Plunderstorm video. It's not what you asked for, but you're getting it anyway. Much like the Plunderstorm feature. But hey, I'm hoping that I can offer at least something different to the conversation here. I mean, you've all heard it all, how to play Plunderstorm, this feature is great, this feature is shit, why do people hate it? And, it's a PvP, it shouldn't have been done a secret. You know what? Let's break all this down, but also at the same time, kind of see where this feature is going to take WoW into the future. Because, when you think about it, this tech that they've implemented into creating the Plunderstorm feature that we have right now, it's, you know what, kind of cool. It's kind of groundbreaking, so to speak. You could see where this could go into the future. Maybe new game modes, new ways to play the game, perhaps even reinvent how the way the game is played altogether. But let's get into the bread and butter first before we start getting into theory crafting, eh? Alright, let's get stuck in it. So for those of you living remotely on the vast reaches of the Eastern Plague Lands, like Tyrian Fordring in Classic, you probably have absolutely no clue as to what the hell Plunderstorm is, or whether you should be interested in it or not. Yeah, so Plunderstorm is basically a battle royale in World of Warcraft. Not exactly in the actual game client, however. It has its own client right next to the title screen. After you log in, you have your character creation screen, and then you move over to your, if you look up to the top left, you can find the Plunderstorm title. It'll say limited time event, so you just click on that, and that takes you to a completely separate character creation screen, or kind of like a main lobby area, where you join a game, or create your character, customize your character. So you customize your pirate, you get that done out the way, and bam, you're popped into a waiting lobby, waiting to get into the next match, or the new match. And where you're launched into a cannon, onto a parrot, and you're flying down onto the Arathi Highlands, laying down and basically playing a whole battle royale. You already know that shit. Let's move on to why people don't exactly like it. My god, you have no idea how hard it is to come across some actual valid criticisms regarding this feature. Oh my god. One thing that we need to know about World of Warcraft players, and you know what, we're all guilty of doing this, is that we're very emotionally driven when it comes to the game. So whenever something new comes out, and all of a sudden it scares us because it's different, it breaks the formula, it kind of destroys this sort of way that we've been taught how to play the game. Suddenly we're very skeptical, we're very angry. Whoo! Holy shit, we are a spicy lot. But yeah, from what I've gathered, the criticisms regarding this feature, it's primarily a PvP feature. So can you imagine basing a patch around an entire PvP feature when the vast majority of players are PvEers? Is this a bad thing? I don't think so. I think it's okay to have a feature or a patch entirely dedicated to a PvP mode if there is a whole bunch of work and a whole bunch of effort put into the feature. Not only this, but World of Warcraft is primarily a PvE game. You excel when you play in PvE. It's really hard to play in PvP when you have all of your different classes, your different features, all that shit. But with the Battle Royale, this version here, it completely changes that formula. You're classless. You actually have to find your abilities. You have to level up throughout the game, and then you reset in the next game. For those of you who are not used to this sort of game style as well, it's a very action-based game mode. You need to be you need to be constantly looking out around, checking your surroundings. You need to be facing your opponent. You need to be aiming your attack in order for them to hit it. And that's just your main attack. There is no auto attacks. You also have to make sure that you're keeping up your health. You always drink your brew, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. It's very Battle Royale-ish. It doesn't at all feel like the same sort of gameplay that you would get out of WoW. Somewhat, it's familiar with the art style, with, you know, the game, how you move, how all of that, collision physics and all that, but ultimately, right here, you're playing a Battle Royale. For a while, one of the problems was the fact that earning renown from this faction that you get because of playing this game, for playing this game mode, was going a little bit slow. Blizzard has since then increased the rate at which you earn renown and gain plunder and all of that, which is a good thing, a good move in my opinion, because that was quite... Yeah, that was quite, it was very slow in order to gain stuff. And especially a player like me, where I'm, you know, not the best PvPer, not the best PvEer. I like to take things slow, you know, smell the roses, especially when I'm traveling. I've been to this zone all the time, like in retail. So, but coming back here, just enjoying myself, that's... I do this shit like that. Sometimes I take my time. I like to play it slow, whereas there are a lot of people going fast, fast, fast. Need to level up fast. Need to gain my abilities fast. That makes it hard to sort of play this play style when we're a little bit slower. Still, it's fun. It's actually a lot of fun. I do enjoy myself. I do enjoy dabbling it, but having to go back and sort of feel like I'm not really like 4 to 5 games seems a bit too much in order to get one renown. One such concern that I do have, especially regarding player feedback regarding this system, is that if it does flop because people weren't really into it, it wasn't their cup of tea, which, you know what, is fair enough. A battle royale isn't necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but I am worried that the sort of feedback that does come through from these people, especially the more zealous of us who get really angry, who do get worked up and end up becoming the loudest and frankly, I think the most least reliable when it comes to feedback, will dissuade the devs into creating more things like this. One such thing that they can do in order to, I suppose, alleviate player concerns is, I don't think this necessarily had to be too secretive regarding its release schedule. It was quiet. Everyone was kind of on the edge of their seat for a while, and then there was no news. I think they could have, you know, leaked little things here and there. That's fine. That's fine. If they want to keep things a secret, by all means, do that. That makes patch theory crafting all the more exciting, but a little bit more word of warning with what we might be getting, you know, just teasing us. I mean, after all, when you're having sex, you don't just go straight into the bread and butter out of nowhere. Surprise butt sex, motherfucker. No, none of that. And making a sexual reference here, man, that's going to get me demonetized almost immediately. But yeah, you get what I mean. You gotta slowly ease your way into it. Let us, you know, excite us a little bit. Get us, like, all wind up. Again, back to my point. The feedback regarding this feature is bad and is mostly negative. I always have that worry that negative feedback leads to the devs not taking as many risks or not being as experimental when it comes to World of Warcraft, which is a bad thing. Stagnancy, in my opinion, and trying to keep the game the same as it always has been, will eventually lead on to its downfall. The market is utterly saturated with MMOs with different choices. And not just that, it's not necessarily competing with other MMOs itself anymore. It's competing with other games, all sorts of games. World of Warcraft isn't just your standard MMO. It's a bunch of games within a game. There are so many things that you can do, from collecting, from getting your guild together to defeat the boss, to raid, to PvP. It's a game with everything, essentially speaking. And in order to remain relevant, in order to remain fun, it does need to change up the formula here and there. It does need to sort of reinvent the wheel sometimes. Not all of the time, of course, but keeping everything new and exciting and fresh, that in my opinion means we need to see more experimentation like this. Now, let's talk about the system, the sort of tech that they're using here. They have completely separated the Plunderstorm into its own separate client. So you log into World of Warcraft, you select the Plunderstorm option, and you're in a completely different lobby. Now, in my opinion, I can see why they would do that. This is more so a test than anything else. At least that's how I feel it's being portrayed as. It's testing. They're kind of getting the ropes, seeing how people react to it, and whether it should be implemented into the main game or not. Yeah, in my opinion, this should be something that should be shot into the main game. So you just, you want to play some, you want to play Plunderstorm, you just do that while you're logged into your main character. You find, you find the Plunderstorm NPC or whatever, or you just, have a tab that you can just, and make it an instance thing. Although, I don't really know how the whole, tech works, whether it's going to actually, fuck with the game or whatever, and that having that whole thing, 60 players in one place, especially with, a billion other people. Yeah, there's a lot to go through here. Those of you who are tech savvy, who have any, theories as to why they would put that into a separate, client, put your opinions and your expertise into the comments and let me know regarding that thing, because I am looking to find out as to why they would do something like that. Yeah, but with this tech, it doesn't necessarily need to be excluded to battle royales. Can you imagine a Scourge infection mode akin to Halo's infection, or a whole Scourge invasion mode? Think of the Scourge invasion that we got in Wrath of the Lich King, and even the Shadowlands pre-patches. Those were pretty awesome, going about in the world trying to survive wave after wave of zombies just taking over the entire cities and things like that. Implement that into a sort of fun game mode, have your own rewards akin to the Plunderstorm Renown rewards, and you got yourself a fun game there. Different styles of games using the Warcraft engine, you could essentially create an infinite amount of different game styles. And who knows, maybe one of those will be the next big thing. The bring back MOBAs or whatever the fuck. We don't need to go back down that path. Oh my god. No offense to the MOBA players in the audience here, I am just not a MOBA player. Me, myself, I know that I'm not really good at the BR genre, because at best, I would come 7th place. I still haven't got my 1st place in a solo match. I've actually started playing with a controller, because when it comes to this style of gameplay, I actually prefer using a controller as opposed to a mouse and keyboard, because I'm a dirty clicker. Roast me in the comments, I really do not give a shit. Clicking master race for the win, cunts. There is a bright future to come from this feature, albeit it is not without its valid criticisms, but it also doesn't deserve nearly as criticism as it is getting. And I don't mean like constructive criticism with, the reward track being way too slow to earn. Maybe the clunkiness of the design of the game. That's okay. I mean, it's a new game. The game is going to be clunky, but they're still testing it. It's still being tested. The fact that it is polished the way that it is and came out the way that it is without any problems, I think that's a huge win. It's been playing smoothly when I've been playing it. But yeah, those sort of criticisms, they're valid. But getting angry and saying that, no, this is a shit design, without actually explaining why it's a shit design, people getting angry and absolutely losing their fucking minds. Guys, temper your emotions. Take a step back, fucking sit down, take a breath, and think about why you are angry. And don't just say, this game is shit. This game is shit. explain why it's shit. Don't just Twitter it. Voice what you think on the forums. You can write a whole paragraph based on it. Use some fucking grammar and holy shit. Because the feature isn't bad. It's actually really good for what it is. It's obviously aimed to reel in new players who have seen World of Warcraft but actually can't get into the main game by adding by adding newer games into the actual main game. Maybe you can get yourself a new subscription, who knows? And something that I've been seeing thrown around Twitter as well, Blizzard. Turn this event into a free weekend event. Get some, like on the odd occasion, make the World of Warcraft sub free. You've done it in like Warlords of Draenor where you'd be like, oh, World of Warcraft this weekend is free. Come play the game. You don't have to do anything. No subscription or anything. You just play it for free. Those sort of things are cool. And like adding those little things allow more people to jump in and sort of, test the waters by giving everyone the opportunity to use this feature to place, BRs. That's all you need to do. And I'm pretty sure you'll reel in a whole bunch of players who will want to take a look at the wider game as a whole. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. Going on a rant and a whole tangent about this new feature. I think it's good. I think Blizzard should absolutely continue experimenting with more stuff like this and just bending the rules, seeing how far they can go with this sort of tech. So yeah, anyway guys, if you liked the video, smash that like button, throw us a subscribe, join me on my other social media channels, which is linked down below, my Twitter, where I have my other takes, my Instagram, where I just post pictures and random shit, and fun little quotes, as well as stories and things like that, if that's your cup of tea. This channel is your place to go. So yeah, alright, anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. Have a good one, catch you later guys.